Testing, testing, uno, dos, tres. Testing, testing. I cannot hear. I do not have stream sound from Jamie Stream. All right, now I do. There we go. Gang, gang.
Tamers.
Yeah, we got
I hope this is
confirmation.
picking it up. I can't tell if
Yep,
this is working, if it's too loud. I
Jamie yelling
apologize.
stream.
We're not fully peaking, but it's right over here, so we'll find out.
So this should be fun.
We'll figure it out.
They're going to be getting some shop
Well,
audio on their
But
stream.
welcome in. Welcome to Dark Sphere.
Dark Sphere
Store
Gaming,
Regional.
64 Cap
Top
Regional. And your boy's going to be co-streaming, so... Oh, my hair look kind of
Ethan is
messy.
now pairing round one. So
We're getting
hopefully
round one
we
paired. This
get,
is just to take a
pull one
look,
off
see.
Ethan.
Yeah,
Once
all the
figure
way
out
from San
depth.
Diego. Welcome.
Yeah.
Glad that we can get some eyes on some regionals from across the
Use our
pond,
phone.
and
Perfect.
hopefully more store regionals
Yes,
will be like, yo,
Elixir is
let's
co-streaming
get
today
your
over on his
boy on
Twitch.
co-stream, and then
Andrew, you should be able to
Bandai
drop
gonna get
links in
me
the chat. Feel free to. And
get
then
me
feel
on
free to
the
pin it
real
as well
stream.
if you want, with like just say that it's with commentary.
Oh yeah, I probably should say with commentary. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be no sound from me from the store itself, unfortunately.
All right, I'll update that on both.
I couldn't get the music set up in
But
time.
yeah,
I am playing
we're going to be
today.
having
If
a
there's any
commentary
problems
for
with the
all of
stream,
ours. Jamie,
sure Andrew,
I
Elixir will,
think the
of
labs, I'm not sure if they're attaching them to the
Mind if
players.
you
That's
add
what
me?
Pontypool did.
Otherwise,
Jamie does have
thank you for
labs,
tuning
but
in.
I think in the
Stop by,
interest
hit
of keeping
subscribe
things
if you enjoy the
simple, he may
content.
not be.
We can
The
digital
overlay, if you
today.
recognize it,
I'm
is
gonna
the
go find out
East
who's on table
one.
one quickly.
The
And
not
find out
open
what's next. And
source,
then
but
we'll
like
get some updates for you.
community available one.
So that's the last you heard from me, and I'll pop in with some
So
bits
yeah,
of
excited
announcements.
to kind of go through
Alright,
all
everyone.
of this, and yeah, make sure to drop. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see on YouTube. There's the there's the link straight to his channel, and if you're watching on Twitch, I'll update it because I think I've got it set to mini kill, but he's KNT mini on Twitch. 4 players enter the tourney. It was a 64 cap store regional. I want to say it got. Yeah, no, it did cap because I was at a driving lesson, and apparently it capped in 3 minutes. Like in 3 minutes it capped. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for people that like myself that weren't glued to the screen exactly as it went live. They did open it to locals sooner, so that way all of them could actually get into their own local regional, which is good. I didn't realize that I do have combined chat. It just doesn't work on the small screen, but that's fine. So we do have players, kind of. No overlay or anything nice, like crazy like that. Something nice and simple. So shout out to East for the publicly available kind of like open source one, and then yeah, shout out to Mr. Minikill, of course, getting this sorted out. I was gonna try and actually go there in person and stream the event in person, but there's some unfortunate stuff kind of like happening. Train's really expensive. We didn't have the full confirmation that I was going to be able to do it until a little too late, and that made trains more expensive. And then I wouldn't have been able to go anyway because catastrophic life events happening this week. So I am homebound for now. But yeah, not entirely sure when time's going to go live. Yeah, looks like Mike is completely muted, so we'll be just going from there. Okay. Appmon on the right. I kind of mess heavy with the machine drum on Matt. I guess apps, they do be robots. You need a co-caster? Bro is trying to do anything. But yeah, Loki. Loki, we could. 1 and 3, 4. Chippy on Gallant Mon Ek. Ah, he doesn't have it right aligned. It doesn't actually matter, because even if you have it right aligned, it doesn't work properly in OBS. No, Jamie, don't left align it. That's stupid. That is stupid. Unless he's going to right align the other one. Okay, you know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. But what is man gonna do? I don't even remember how I've got this set up. Are you okay? That's display capture. Okay, that's not too bad then. Yeah, I think we're just waiting on time to start, and we'll actually be able to get into it. So this one is going to be pretty fun. I'd imagine. Well, it's going to be fun if Atmon actually get to play. I do wonder if they're on stuff like the promo Deltamon. But we won't have access to anything like the back end or anything like that. I do know that it is 5 rounds for this one because it did fully cap. And there is no top cut, so it's XO or bust. London going to be trying to do what they can to bring as many of these home. You got players like Tamas as well who already have their invite that might be trolling or they might be gatekeeping. Not fully sure what they're going to go for. Stream at the highest quality it can be. Oh, auto. Auto is never sharp. Oh, we got ourselves a cheeky follow. Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, Nightwolf. Thank you very much for the follow. Enjoy your stay. 6 rounds for this one. I guess, yeah, because it's 64 cap. All right. Security set. And we're going to be opening up with Gallantmon going first. So it's a great start. And then, well, okay, not so great a start. Mr. Takado Matsuki. So, I mean, pure Gallant. Kind of makes sense. I feel like we've seen Shippy on, I think it was in the Salford Regional. We got to see them. The Team Sovereign player. Really, really strong team. So yeah, I'm pretty sure before we've seen them on, I believe they played Mirage, and then we're gonna go to 3 off the memory set it. So a time mon built in the back with the Haru. This is the best quality I can get for the stream, it looks like. I'm just working off of what Jamie's got. So we're gonna be doing some sight reading on some moon runes. I'm assuming we don't have the line. Like, I see a Gaiamon in hand, but the fact we're thinking about it rather than going into something like just Link Dogat make Globe is kind of concerning. We're going to do a 3-cost. Oh, we're just going to evolve into Globemon. Interesting. I guess we're missing the Dogat. And then, I'll actually bring up some extra. I'm still not fully privy to what all of the exact ones, but I'm pretty sure it's like can link and can attack. So yeah, we get the Globemon link. Oh, he did have a Dogat. Unless he drew it for Evo. Because it's on play when Digivolving Link at level 4. And then your turn when something gets linked, delete. So this is going to be presumably enough to delete the other body. I actually cannot tell what body got slammed. Genuinely. Gang, I have no idea what card we're looking at. Yo, what's up, Lamar? My goat. Welcome back to the stream. This is going to be Dos Checarino at 10k? More than that. Maybe 11. Does live. We're going to see Cool Boy. So this is Cool Boy Gallantmon, which is good. So still no rookie. But at the very least, the Cool Boy gets you a little bit closer to actually being able to play the game. And also, luckily as well, Staccato is going to set us to 3. So even though we keep getting like memory chokes, there's a chance you get to play something. But The worst bit about it is we've seen the Charismon link as well in hand, so we might be able to get zero cost globe if we're not careful. Okay, you know what? I respect it greatly. If you are the Atmon player, you suddenly realize that, yeah, they're on the crazy brick. And if I lose this, it's over for me. Not just your chances at getting your invite, 4 invites up for grabs today, but also just losing to hard played Gallantmon Crimson mode after them seeing no rookie. Mental destroying. But I mean, we're in a good spot. Like, link up as well. Someone at my door. Herb. So I think someone sent Jade some flowers for what she's in hospital. But a Globemon built in the back feels so weird to come back to. It's gonna be enough on board. And okay, so it Growlmon X. What is a rookie? Set to 3. The fact that we have link up as well. We got the Charismon. This should be 2 checks. Link Charis. Actually, no. What you do is you link Charis here. So you've got the once per turn protection. You swing the globe. Hit for 2. And then app link or app fusion into Gaiamon burn the last swing. The only thing you have to be a little worried about is Megalo Ace, but yeah, again, when something is linked, pop something with DP or lower. So this now is just swing for 2, app link, app fusion, finish the game. Gonna get a draw off of the egg. I think we're just double checking some of the effects. But yeah, this should be pretty simple for game 1. One check. No rookies in security either. So Shippy just had nothing anywhere. So yeah, this is going to be app views. I actually don't know if that's the correct order. Does App Fusion care about the order? I think it's just any of rather than something something. Because it's Globemon and Charismon. Either way, we're going to link out the Globemon just to get the extra value. It's going to be an easy game 1. So, yep. Unfortunate. Even the best players in the world, if you get cooked by no rookies, there's just nothing you can do. Yeah, it's a rough way to start the stories. You know, it's one of those things that you got to wonder if you gotta wonder if everyone was doing those full deck profiles out just to make sure they've got every single card they need and they still haven't gotten to shuffle all that much. I hate unshuffling my deck for a list. Obviously, if I'm doing a video, I do it all the time. But if it's before a regional and I'm pretty sure I know all of my ratios, I will put it out on the map face up as it goes from top deck. So it's just a completely unreadable board. I'm just tapping around to make sure I have it. The fact that we didn't have to mulligan looks pretty good for Shippy this time, but say the same about Atmon as well. This can be Rookie in the back. Going second for Gallantmon is interesting. I'm not super privy to where it wants to go, but 3 cost Evos, gross. Those do be some 2-color cards. Glad people could catch the stream, and I'm sure we're going to get even more people filling out little by little as we go in. We got Glairmon in the back. I know Jamie sometimes mentions it as like, oh, we're under the bad lights or whatever, but it seems like today we've once again forgotten. And that's going to be only one target, as we're going to see the Guilmon and a Gotsumon. So Gotsumon to stop play fight effects. You know, a lot of decks are on some sort of red floodgate in order to deal with Royal Knights. Before it was the Solomon, but now with Purge being everywhere, they don't care about the cost reduction. They care about getting domed by Omnimon X for Purge. Wow. Really slow hand here for Atmon. But honestly, I don't even know if Gallantmon's in a place really to push this. I think he needed like one extra thing of setup. Obviously, right now I actually can't see what we have. It looks like we're going to stay in the back though. We are going to commit the Guilmon. Check top 3, 4 even. And you get to add a Growlmon, Gallantmon in name, and a Takato, but no Takato to be seen. And Gil X for the search. So we get 2 searches, which is nice. Draw for Evo. Cool Boy first to game 1, draw 1, and then you do the search. That is perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. If you do the search first, you might be caught between 2 things that you might have gotten, like one of them off the draw, and be able to figure out from there. And just, well, would be the one choke, but, you know, we did commit the memory setter. So, hey, memory setter stonks go up. If you ever be like, man, 4 cost memory, so slow. Yeah, this is your reminder that being able to start the game at 3 sometimes is better than having to spend a memory boost to play the game. If you've gotten to play any Eden format, that was kind of our takeaway as well. Memory setters are kind of goated. But are we actually going to push up? The thing about Atmon is you can never really tell how much memory they need to play stuff. The fact that we're having to evolve is absolutely criminal. 4 cost Evo. Get to link from sources. And that's the problem. Because the Dogachimon's only going to link from sources, we don't get to link the Charismon here. So the Haru's not really going to do too much. We do get to delete the body that is on board, which is nice. And then the Haru's going to get us an extra draw. And then we're going to swing Dos Checarino at 10k. Oh, the coolest of boys. And he is going to grief the Takato. He's going to grief everything. And then a second check. Nice level 4. Does get the one choke. So all in all, not terrible. I think you would have wanted to go a little bit higher so that way you can get on the Charismon. Especially because Gallantmon does tend to do its deletions before it raids, but obviously there's no Takato, so nothing crazy like that. Gonna gain 2, draw 2. And now we actually have War Growlmon like Wargramon, Gallantmon as like a viable line. Especially with the Protoform. I'm going to use Growlix to pitch a Growlix. Now, of course, do you have the float in case anything bad happens to this? I doubt it, though. We have seen the War Growlix. I don't see a regular War Growl. We now see a regular War Growl. So this is going to be go for it, and then it can evolve for cost minus just because it's not going to get the pop. I don't think we have the right sources for that. But we're going to choose to ignore that effect, and we're just going to go Protoform. This gives the balance protection. This is round 1 of 6, opening round. I guess that is one thing that would be nice for the East overlay, is if we can get some sort of round signifier. There's also no sort of like game leading thing, so that's going to be on me to try and like get involved with it. And down comes Gallantmon X. So we're not going to get to do a crazy amount, but we do get to shrink by 4, gain 4, and attempt to pop. So this is going to be enough to full clear the body because there's no Karis. And as much as we did get the 1 choke, hitting the second Cool Boy did matter quite a bit. Because it was the difference between making Gallantmon X with a Protoform here. I mean, I guess if he got choked to 1, what he would do instead is you go Protoform to do 0 cost Evo into Growlix, then you go War Growl, Warp to Gallant X, and then you still get the line. But yeah, this is a really bad position to be in if you are the Appmon player. This is the sort of turn from Cool Boy Gallant that we expect to see. I'm glad a lot more people are kind of like pretty much committing to Red X antibody as the package. Some people still like Tocado, some people don't. And down comes Link Up. So cost 3, we're going to get a search. And then I think this double hits. No, it's just going to be the Gatchmon and not the Tamer. I'd say not that we need the second Tamer, but you definitely want one. It's called App Link, isn't it? Because Link Up is, or like Cross Up is the name of the Hunter's one. So it's reveal top 3, add 1 card with Appmon or App Driver among them. Trash the rest. Then place the card in the battle area. End of your turn. Delay. You may link 1 card without paying the cost. So yeah, it's a cool line. That might have been a way that we would have been able to get Karis, but I think we're in pretty cooked. A pretty cooked situation. Easy burn 1. 2 security left. There's not really a huge... Whoa. For a second, I legit thought he was I just seeing Chimera like, what? What are we about to see? What deeply evil tech are you about to show us with this this Cool Boy overlay? I'm just gonna see the training. So it looks like, yeah, we're kind of like out of gas in terms of what we can do here, but the fact that we're on like the less optimal like rookie and champion, like we're on a secondary stack that's not all that great. Gonna swing in for the Chacarino +4. That's gonna be 2 checks. Does get the Haru, which, I mean, I hope for his sake it does something. As a reminder, Appmon is up 1 game. So this is, if they can somehow snatch this back, then splendid. But put to 2, go to 3. Draw for turn. And it's either raise or scoop. What's it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be a raise. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me. If we can see the Globemon, we might be in with something. But we really do need to see some sort of app views. We got the Gossymon. I think we really need to see Karis. Yeah, I think we need to see Karis first and then kind of go from there. The fact that we built up such a decent rookie, like a second stack, means even if you try and play to fight Gallantmon, you are kind of in trouble. You really do need to just unironically full send it on Globemon into security. Like, you need to get a lot of damage in. We're +8 as well, so I don't even think that Appmon can get big enough to do something like that. So, I mean, we're looking at the Karasmon in hand, so I think we're just trying to figure out whether we can, like, app fuse into it. Look and see what's in trash. But, like, seeing how expensive the Dogachmon Evos are, it makes a lot more sense now as to why some people were on the promo Deltamon. Just because the promo Delta costs, like, 3 to Evo feels bad, but Gachmon is also 3 to Evo, and if you're going to then spend, you know, it is a 2-color Evo, you're going to get even less to get your level 5 if you are forced to Evo. We are going to link, which is going to soften up that security a little bit. And attempt to minus the Gallantmon, but obviously, you know, memory still on your side, so Gallantmon is immune to Digimon effect. Suspend the Harrow, draw a card. And then normally it's the egg, but I'm going to go App Fusion into Karasmon, so going to be able to 0 cost into that. Really, really big. And then we're going to get to load from trash. We do have a Globemon in trash, but I don't know if it can load it. We can load the Dogachmon from trash. I think the goal here is to get huge. Yeah, I think that's the goal. The goal here is get absolutely massive. Man, I hope he has some sort of protection, because if he doesn't, this is asking for a Crimson mode. No Crimson mode is going to be swing, and we hit Omnimon X. That's going to be all we wrote there. So yeah, we're going to scoop up, and a third game here in round 1. We're going to get to start things off nicely. Now, sometimes, you know, first round of a regional, first round of a store regional, it can be a little bit messy. It can be a little bit stinky. But no, we've actually got some good games here. Obviously, you know, a brick in game 1 for Chippy was pretty unfortunate, but got to see a little bit here and there of everyone, which is nice. Pontypool Regional I will eventually put out. Eventually. Same goes with Darksphere for VODs, but yeah. Videos. One coming out at 2 p.m. UK time. You can see currently what UK time it is. Down there in the center. So yeah, a couple of hours before we get today's daily upload. It's already out for members, so if you are at Memberino for a Digi-Egg or lower, then Digi-Egg or higher, then you get to see it. But yeah, some Appmon. Welcome, Digidane. Hopefully today we're not going to be seeing too much Megidramon. But yeah, today's going well so far. Got off to a good start. And I'm looking forward to a long, well, not a long day of Digimon, a decently sized day of Digimon. Glad that some of these places actually have the internet to be able to stream. The Fanboy Regional is not going to be streamed, it is going to be recorded. Just because we are in a basement with no internet, and sometimes the point of sale system upstairs disconnects from the internet, so we were certainly not going to be able to stream. Yeah, honestly, valid. the Atmon cards are crazy because on the one hand, I'd say you'd be fine. The Atmon cards aren't that crazy, but there's like a couple of them that are just actual custom cards. Like actual crazy custom cards where they just turn to you for 4 checks and you go, huh? Or they sit there and do nothing for several turns. You go, yeah, that checks out. That is a deck on its first wave of support. I honestly haven't even read the Tweetmon promo. I'm gonna start calling it Examon. You'd be keen to see if people are on things to counter Megidra. So it depends on the timing and depends on where you are. Manchester has quite a few of them, so we've been kind of working on how to beat the deck. What I tend to do is I tend to like sprinkle salt, like into a shape, a sigil, if you will, and then I put like part of the Guilmon line in the center there just to basically ward it away from their decks. That usually works quite well for me. But yeah, there's a lot of thinking to be done to try and figure it out. That or yeah, Imperial, we've got some really, really strong Imperial players. So Imperial is kind of dusty and dangerous. And Ukumon turn 2 is nice. I don't think it'll be sticking around very long. It is Gallantmon. You put a rookie on the board, you don't really expect it to get back to you. Yeah, preemptive self-defense does work. And yeah, goodbye Ukumon. Oh, and this one choke. Actually, no, I think he gains back too much memory. So this is gonna pop, and then he's gonna gain back 2. So this actually takes the memory choke offline. This is gonna be clear, and then gain back 2. So we keep turn. Loki, you're kind of big enough. I would swing. You've got no raid, so you might as well push that 1 damage. Because you're going to probably evolve into Gallantmon anyway, which is going to pass 3. So if you hit a memory setter, you don't really care. So man like me goes sideways. Yep. Freelo. And then we turn into Gallantmon. Oh, Gallant X. We're going to pass 4. Oh, yeah, we've got Protoform as well. So this is going to be burn 1. And then reactive. Oh, burns the Gossipmon. That would have popped out of security and everything. We would have had an extra body on board to play with. Dang, bro. That sucks. I mean, we do get the link, so for the first time in the set, we're actually going to see Dogashimon come out the way we are. I feel like he's linking backwards. I feel like I don't fully understand the direction the Atmon, because it reads Gachimon plus Navimon. So in my head, that's Gachimon on top of Navimon, but maybe I am the fool. So we are going to be able to attack thanks to the when linking. Just confirming what the protections are for the Gallantmon. So as soon as it gets to 0, that's when we can actually hit it for stuff. We're not going to get a Digivolve here because we're still on 0. He actually needed to find a way to spend 1 more. But we're going to be able to App Link for App Fusion for 0 into Globemon. Again, still spending no memory. It is a real shame that when we made Dogashimon, we couldn't play a Haru, because I think that would have actually given us the full line that we need to be able to full clear this. Does get to load a level 4 or lower. So that's going to be Shootmon. And then Shootmon going to give us some draw to trash 1. Or is it draw 2 trash 2? I guess we'll find out. It's just trash 1 from the looks of it. Never mind, trash 2. Draw 2 trash 2. Nice little filter. But you've kind of lost the ability to do much more than that. Because you're only going to have the active delay of one of them if you play the app link. And you do need to make Globemon. Yeah, so it is a... Yeah, I think they're just reading it incorrectly. Because it's usually left name first, right name first. We're going to swing and die again. We are allergic to putting Charismon underneath our Digimon. Doesn't look like he actually had it. We also don't have an app driver, so we can't ignore color requirements. Yeah, this is more or less how we all expected this to go. It is just unfortunate that it was the same. Oh, Shotmon is the level 3. Yeah, with the moon runes I've got right now, I'm not not fully able to tell them all apart. But yeah, it's a rough one. It's definitely a very, very rough place to be in. Not getting the Karis protection hurts you quite a bit. And also just some big bodies. Chances of hitting 2 level 7s in security are quite low, but just really, really unfortunate regardless. So we're gonna get the load once again to try and see if we can get some extra value. Get a Garchmont, but realistically, I don't think we see another turn. Yeah, 13k is not particularly small. It's just them's the breaks sometimes. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Taking the Growlmon, I mean, at this position, you're not in any rush to clear out the game. Like, all you have to do is just play for board control. You've got an extra turn guaranteed because it's an off turn in terms of the egg. So if you're Shippy here, you like the Omni-X is cute, but you can just do the line and take the pieces to do the rest of the stuff. So this is gonna be -4 there. That puts it on 2k, and then this is gonna be swinging for 2 checks thanks to the ace. We are gonna hit a Harry off the second, and then we're going to attempt to pop, which means we're not gonna get the burn or the unsuspend, but that doesn't actually matter. I'm gonna go into the Growlmon. It's a shame it's not the player Takado, because if you got it correct. Oh yeah, we're also just getting the memory back because, you know, Digimon was deleted. Mandatory. The Gotsu and Gallon is to deal with Royal Knights. So before, we saw a lot of Gallantmon players were on the Solar in order to slow Royal Knights down, because obviously they're trying to reduce play costs, and because Royal Knights is one of Gallantmon's hardest matchups. So they were on the Solar to try and like slow that down. But because a lot of the Royal Knights players are now just abusing Purge, they're just going Purge Omni-X and then, you know, getting domed for 2 because of Last Guardian. So what they're instead doing is just going, you can reduce your shit as much as you want. I just want to stop you from being able to abuse 0 cost purges, and also turn off Leopardmon and Lord Knight for a bit. It also stops Omeka from coming out of security, and it turns off the Omnimon kill turn. So it's an adaptation that's come with kind of like playing more of the matchups and how the Royal Knights have been kind of like adapting around it. So we are going to go into the War Growl. War Growl, nothing to pop, so we turn into Gallantmon. Passes exactly a memory set is worth of value, and then this is going to be 2 protected bodies versus an empty board and a freshly hatched egg. I think we're still just going to evolve and get some draws going just to, you know, play the game, but this is GG's. So 3 of the option in hand. Doesn't look like we have any like out of app Doesn't look like we have any like out of Atmon stuff. So maybe just playing an entirely pure build. Did get a game, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, they got a game because Gallantmon literally didn't see a rookie and they were able to kind of like punish from there. But pretty much any game where we did get to see Shippy play is pretty wraps from there. But yeah, really cool like opening game 1. And from there, we're going to be able to kind of go into a game 2. Well, round 2 in probably like 15 minutes. I know I had some ideas before of like what I was going to do in the mid round, because like before we played some rivals. Today, I'm not sure if I can be bothered to do that. What the app play? We know the Atmon player had their fusions backwards. No, we know we had them backwards. But I didn't notice anything else besides that. The Pokemon regional is also on today, so we may also just be doing some Pokemon regional stuff. What are the chances? Is we're of course between games. Of course, we're always between games whenever I want to watch stuff. Okay, we're gonna switch round 4. Any VG heads? Any Pokemon video game enjoyers? But yeah, that's what kind of what I was gonna go through today. Is gonna be just like chilling between rounds. Of course, obviously, you know, when Digimon is being played, Digimon is gonna be getting watched. We're not editing today, because obviously we're gonna be getting a lot of Digimon out of today. But I have legitimately forgotten what the plan for what I was gonna do outside of games was. I feel like it was Digimon related, but couldn't tell you. We could do some brain training, low key, but I don't want to do that after round 1. I feel like it's too early in the day to do some round 1 brain training. I got cooked before.
Let's jump into game 2. I think there's more Pokemon action to come here. It's going to be the Incineroar and Lunala on Robbie's side, and then Giuseppe has led with the Cornerstone Ogerpon.
Yeah, it's just every time, like sometimes I'll be watching Pokemon and Valorant at the same time. I'm like, all right, Valorant's between matches. Let me hop back over to Pokemon. Pokemon between matches. Every time. I don't know how all of these global broadcasts all manage to sync up their breaks with exactly the same time, so you can't like effectively bounce between them. Drives me mental. And then sometimes I'll check Smash, and Smash is also between on a break somehow. The multi-streams on a break, the main streams on a break. I'm like, how does this keep happening? I didn't watch any of Evo. That's actually one of the things I kind of want to do, is I kind of want to watch some of Evo Japan. I already know the results of most of the games, but kind of want to just like, kind of want to catch up with those, and you know, some Valve, but Pokemon, I think it's a little bit more fun. I think it's an easier viewing experience, just chilling. Yeah, we're not going to see anything from there, so. I used to play the Pokemon games a lot, but fell out of love the past few years. TCG is hard to play at the moment. A lot of sell it. Yeah, that is pretty tragic. Like, I want to get back into VGC. The main problem for me is I didn't buy any of the Switch games on principle. But VGC has, you know, it's got me in a vice grip. I really enjoy watching VGC. So when they showed off, what was it? Champions, I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm gonna play VGC. TCG I still haven't learned. I've done a little bit. No, did some for like an article, but yeah, I haven't really played too much of the TCG. It looks funny though. I'm a Trick Room enjoyer, me. That said though, like, I'm not, you know, married to the idea of Trick Room. I just think Trick Room is really funny. I actually, so funny enough, chat. For those of you that have seen the ads for it, the second channel is now up and running. One of the things I said that it's not just gonna be archiving my old Twitch stuff. Is I also want to do some like just non-Digimon content on there. One of the things actually is some stuff from I played in a YouTuber friend of mine's. Like he did a showdown like gym leader challenge basically, where he got like a bunch of his mods to basically make gym leader teams. There was an Elite Four, and then after you got everything, you'd be able to play against him as the champion. And you had X number of attempts before you were locked out of doing the gym, and it was trying to get as many badges as you could. Really, really fun. I submitted I made my team in less than 15 minutes and submitted it 2 minutes before the deadline. And did very well. My first ever VGC style event. And yeah, it was really, really fun. I was the highest placing non-staff member. So I've got all of the replays from that, and I've been meaning to sit Tom down because he's a big VGC guy and just run through the replays and just get his general thoughts on everything. So I've been meaning to do that for ages to put it on the main channel, but now I'm thinking it might just go on the side channel. It's just like a, hey, yeah, you know, I do some cool stuff on there. But yeah, it's yeah, I've just not bought any of the Switch stuff, and I'm hoping to keep it that way. But I will probably try. I've got a bunch of my Pokemon in Pokemon Home from like when I was a kid. But yeah.
That's very true, actually. You know, Giuseppe keeping these two on the field, they're doing a really decent job of getting damage on the field, as well as being offensive.
Looks like we're still on break there. Still. Break here. What decks are people looking forward to in EX9? Are there any EX9 ones that you kind of are like interested in?
Yep, Ogerpon staggers back into its Pokeball, but Giuseppe now has the utility to go for a single target Glacial Lance here. Lunala did have a Shadow Shield and tag there, I believe, as well, so it was able to take that reasonably well. It does have, obviously, access to the leftovers in the grassy terrain, but it's going to need a lot of that to be able to get its HP right back up. I'm interested to see who Robbie's fourth and final Pokemon is going to be.
Yeah, I would guess it probably is that Koraidon, which you really do need to be able to take.
Wind Guardian's a fun one. The new reveals do make me a little bit more interested in the deck. Not enough to play it. I haven't really picked up any of the Pendulum decks at all. But Wind Guardians went from like, wow, I don't care, this deck isn't finished, to I think what is really interesting is they did it backwards, because normally it's like, here's the set that gives you all the stuff, and then here's the bonus guys that you really, really kind of missed. Here's the bonus guys that kind of tie the deck together. This time they did, here's the bonus guys. You can't even build this deck because there's not enough pieces. Here's the bonus guys, and then here's the set, which I think is cool. And also them being back-to-back sets rather than being kind of like several sets down the line, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, a really nice safe play from Giuseppe there. Again, you don't need to do the trick room mind games at the moment, because the only way Robbie... yeah, there's the trick room goes up again.
And collecting all the field decks. I mean, you're set up really nicely for the regulation battle. I have no... Surely... I mean, that's going to be a fun one. I feel like Nature Spirits actually probably has a really good shot in that sort of format. When Eldoradimon hits a higher percentage of your deck, I feel like you've got a really good shot of making Tlaylock over and over again. But that may also just be like a... I haven't thought about it all that much kind of thing. Nice. Okay. All right, let's catch up to the main broadcast. I'll be still on break. Yeah. Oh well. So there's gonna be some downtime between the both of these. Nightmare Soldiers is the best field overall. Okay, so I'm in slight disagreement there. I think. Wait, is this the? Oh, I do have horizontal chat in. It's just in the wrong place. There we go. Actually, do we want it? Yeah, we want it down here or up here? Up there. I feel like for this scene, just to mix it up and have it above me. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. So for the regulation battle, I have no idea. I think for exactly for regulation battle, I'm not fully sure which deck is better. I still think overall Deep Savers is in the best place, but I'm biased because, again, local to Manchester, we've got two very good Deep Savers pilots. Really, really good Deep Savers pilots. But I'm also talking about them from the perspective of like when you're trying to build them to win rather than being like, I'm only building native. So like obviously Nightmare Soldiers can use the Dark Animal package, which cringe, but you know, it gets it done. Deep Savers does have access to some other general blue good stuff from Fish, and that does really tie the deck together really, really well. Aircraft Carrier, you do make that boss monster and you do tend to win the game. Whereas I feel like the other boss monsters, you make them and you go, that was fun, and then you usually win the game, but don't. It's not quite as locked in. But maybe that's just me. I haven't really seen Nature Spirit since they got the new field spell. Nightmare Soldiers was very fun for the first couple of days. And then after that, I, you know, went back to like, doesn't really do much. And then, yeah, Deep Savers, I feel like maybe it's just because the Fish players enjoy Fish and they really like fishing. You see more of Deep Savers doing stuff, or at least local to me. That's kind of how it's been. But yeah, so we'll keep track of the decks that we've actually seen today. Oh, people at the desk. Is that round 2 on the way? Is that round 2 on the way, or is it not? And in other rounds, we may end up playing some Rebels. We'll just be chilling. Gang, I had a really cool, like, I was testing an angle from like a call where I had like a laptop off to this side. It kind of makes me almost want to have my camera over in like a corner. I've got it straight on so that way it can be kind of straight on, but I don't know. A lot of the time when I'm streaming and like for the podcast, I'm looking at this monitor because it's the stream one, it's where chat is, stuff like that. So I get this like, you know, it's nice pro, you know what I'm saying? To be fair. Okay. Yo, it's making a beard that's not there look like it's there. Movie magic. Nothing you see on the internet is real. If I was more organized as well, I'd have like a deck profile to do. That's what we could do. I've remembered what the thing is that I was going to do. We're going to assemble a list. I would love to test the list and high roll people, but I'm also going to be not using illegal contraband, and I am going to be a good noodle that stays in Bandai's goodest of graces. So I will be contributing to streams by being your favorite, your favorite above board co-streamer / caster. But yeah, it's I don't know. A lot of the stuff I play right now loses to some of the decks that we think are the best of the best. That's what happens. I feel like Armor is always like the worst tier 1 deck, which means a lot of the time you just have bad matchups into the rest of tier 1, which means I'm always like, this is the best deck I play. my other pet decks obviously can't keep up because the game is not really in a position where pet decking, like, you know, your silly rogue picks are very rarely actually silly rogue picks. Like if you didn't believe in Magidramon, then you're like, wow, this silly rogue pick won a store regional. No, it's tier 1. People just were building it wrong. I feel like rogue stuff doesn't really do as well as it's supposed to now. A lot of the tier 1 stuff doesn't have huge holes in its game plan. Like before, where maybe a rogue deck can be built specifically to exploit that. So yeah, it gets kind of awkward. To try and play stuff like, for example, Ghost does have some really funny matchups into like a lot of the tier 2 stuff, but it doesn't match up particularly well into tier 1. Like, you're never getting 2 checks with your royals. So that said, though, the Misplay for Game gang, we have been, I say gang, the Misplay for Game Discord have been theory crafting a little bit of Ghost stuff, like Jedi's House, to make your Necromons bigger, and you're more likely to actually get the 2 checks out versus Knights, which is pretty funny, versus other things, you're just more likely to have it. It feels like a lot of decks randomly have OmniX because why not? He's searchable. A lot of decks have Oryukin. So like a lot of decks just have big level 7 aces that you wouldn't normally think about just available. So yeah, messing around with Jedi's House, Island of Adventure. Adventure has been really, really popular. The thing locally for us is that in all of the matches I've seen for Adventure versus Royal Knights, it feels like it's incredibly Royal Knights favored, and it's down to the Royal Knights player to make a mistake, or like open incredibly slow, or, you know, maybe the Adventure player just draws the absolute nut. But like in the games that I've seen, it seems like it's just Royal Knights favored. So, and with Royal Knights being so common and simple, it feels like any half sentient dog can pilot that deck to an amount. So whilst Adventure's not super difficult, if you're expecting to run into like 4 Royal Knights players, are you really going to bring a deck that you know is like a 70-30 losing matchup to Arcaes? You know you're going to have to play out of your mind and just kind of hope they don't have it. You look, there's a bunch of current red, purple, and blue-green Imperial. So it depends on your opinion for where that deck places. In our tier list, we put Galacti just straight up in tier 1. We don't think it's rogue at all. But it depends on what you think personally. Some people don't think that the deck is fast enough. Some people think that one of the things that's really interesting about it is, you know, Magidramon. People now understand that that deck is not rogue, it's tier 1. And it's really cheap to build. And if you were like, you know, I think Galacti's really good, and then you're like, oh, suddenly there's 4 more Magidramon players than there were last week because people found their Grav Crush in their bulk and their EX4 Rush Guilmon in their bulk, and then the rest of the deck comes basically with it and is a couple of, you know, staples that you probably should have access to. Last week there was 1 Magidramon player. This week there's 5. This matchup got a lot more difficult. It's really interesting how the meta, because obviously we're in unification now, it's not like we're just waiting on different like all of the things from SEA and Japan to come in. We're actually, you know, thinking for ourselves, learning for ourselves. SEA figured out that Magidra was sick straight away. They were still building it a little bit honest. Even like Momin and like Huang's Discord were testing Megi, and they were still building it a little dishonest. A little bit dishonest. You know, 1 Grav Crush, 1 Jack Kraid. But over here in Manchester, honesty is weakness. So, that's why, you know, one of the first Magidramons to just go, what if you cheated? What if you take all the ketchup you can find and dump it all over your steak? What if you just get some steak in your ketchup? That is why Magidramon's everywhere. Because deeply dishonest. Deeply, the most dishonest version of the deck is now the most popular version. We do a little bit of trolling. If you want to see the actual Magidramon list that kind of like kicked off a lot of nonsense, then yeah, it's actually on Jamie's channel. And then we have Tamas's second place list from the Paris Regional, which is 49 of the same cards, and then a couple of changes. But yeah, it's going well, Isman. We're just about to start round 2. Yo, Dorvik. Yes, sir. I love Dorvik. As someone that usually just goes, "Hey Derek, how's your round going?" He goes, "Well, I drew a bunch of cards, and then I made Dorvik 5 checks, unsuspend, Omniac. Game 2, little bit slow, but he hits a fireball, and I draw 2. I draw Dorobrick, and then next turn, it's over." And he does that for 5 rounds in a row, and I go, "You're my favorite person." That I love Dorvik. I absolutely love Dorvik. Royal Knights playmat. This is Hussman. He actually did pretty well at the Glasgow regional. It's really funny. He has been playing Royal Knights since it came out. He loves he loves all the Royals. He played it because he was like, "Wow, I get to play all the guys and then end with Omnimon, and then like all the guys show up. It's so cool." And then Royal Knights became what it was, and he was just like, "Guys, I'm on top tables and I don't know what to do. I'm not used to being here. I'm just playing Royal Knights because it was fun. Why is it good?" It's like, yeah. That said though, Royal Knights versus Purple Hybrid, the format may change, but some things stay the same. Yeah, I mean, I love Derek. He's one of my favorite people. One of the most unhinged deck. I don't know why I keep putting headphones on. There's nothing that's making sound. One of the most unhinged, lovable people that I've ever met. We likened him to Shikamaru yesterday, where he's just chilling. He's so talented. Everything's a drag. Just vibing. He shows up, kills his opponent in 10 minutes, goes and walks around the convention, sets a timer to make sure he comes back on time, chilling. He's usually out there trading. He's really, really useful for if like, "Man, I was looking for this ult for the binder." He's like, "Don't worry, I'll kill my opponent in 10 minutes, then I'll spend 40 minutes looking for trades, going through people's binders." And he just comes back with like a chase rare card. It's like, "Yeah, I just dropped money on this. Here's an IOU. You're welcome." I was like, "How much was this?" He's like, "You don't need to know." It's like, "Derek, I need to pay you back." He's like, "You will eventually." But yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit more control focused, I will say. Will we see the King of New York? That's anyone's guess. Oh, pile shuffle. All right, let's go, Hussman. Me, #1 pile shuffle hater EU. #1 pile shuffle hater. Yeah. I have no idea what version of like Royal Knights he's on, because there are no wrong ways to play Royal Knights. There's just ways that are slightly more winning than other ways. Huss strikes me as the sort of guy that does have at least one of every single knight. I know that hasn't been the standard for a very, very, very long time. People very quickly figured out what the best ones were. Like, in Pontypool, we saw token spam. Like, token spam was the name of the game. You did Jesmon get token. Ganku play Jesmon get token. Lord Knight's actually seen a really good uptick with like Omeka die, Lord Knight play Omeka, stuff like that. You're like a lot of the knights that like summon a second dude are getting a lot more play. There was a time where we were like, man, All Force actually kind of does what it needs to do. And the illusion of going first, as we're going to open up with the Ukomon and Hatch the tree. I'm going to open up with the option card, game back 1, and that's going to be Uno Dos. I told you he'd be on one of everything. Wait, no, that's an OmniX. I saw blue and I was like, there's no way he opened All Force off rip. And that's because there was no way. He did not open All Force off rip. It was thingy. Ooh, we got a shiny. Okay, so the Ukomon's obviously kind of not blinged, but the purple Rivals Barrages and the Koichi, we got the nice ones. Another Ukomon in the back. I'm gonna swing, and we hit Horyuken. So we're gonna draw 1. What do you want to trash here? Gonna trash the Gabu. Again, a nice shiny Gabu. And it's really interesting because he has the Louis. He had the option to try and just get more search. Obviously, he's probably just gonna get popped. But he's in an okay position. And then, man, this is really, really rough if you're Hussman. Because no Knights established is horrific. No Knights established is really, really bad. One thing that's really interesting about this matchup as well, I was going to say, is that your token actually doesn't protect you against Velga. Because all you have to do is change the color of the Jesmon, and then you can't decoy for it anymore. So the Velga actually just cooks your whole thing. Obviously, we're yet to actually see any of the purple hybrids in trash, but I'd say versus Royal Knights that don't have anything under the tree, this is a pretty rough position to be in. That said, I have seen certain Royal Knights play Saf. Certain Royal Knights players that have been able to find kill lines from 3 Knights under the tree. This is a really rough search because like all of these are incredible. Like you take Psychmon to finally stop them from like searching stuff. Any of the Nidhogg's to be able to, you know, do memory shenanigans, or you take the Velga so you can actually finally set one up in trash. But we're going to prioritize the King of New York. Mandatory hatch. And then we're going to swing the Omeka. Omeka is going to die. And then we're finally going to load up our first Royal Knight. And, you know, they've long since stopped doing the Poor Cooper. And now we're in, like, big tree gaming, as you can see. I'm going to go for Royal Knights of the Purge. Sex cost game back 3. I do love the way that he actually builds these up. The way that he just goes, the way that he's like that. All right, we're going to load the fort and then slide over the mat. And it's like building up a timer of like, you're dead, by the way. Double Koichi and a Gallantmon. Both these players have had such interesting searches, but I feel like the purple hybrid player is absolutely like, he's having to do his toughest battles here. Like the stuff he's revealing off the searches is like banger, banger, banger. That said though, the Ukomon Turbo is continuing to do what it does best. Might as well put another rookie in the back. And honestly, I wouldn't hate seeing a Louis. Ooh, he's on the Keenan. Okay. Yeah, a couple of players have been talking to, like, I've been talking to a couple of players about, like, current purple hybrid now that you actually have to think about it a little bit more. And yeah, Keenan was, like, a cute thing that we saw. We saw in Pontypool that some players were on Mimi. Mimi was a really cute tech, but it looks like we're going to discard the Keenan. The Keenan's pretty cute for being able to punish Jesmon. It makes them cost a little bit more. Like, a lot of, like, small things of being able to just gain back, like, steal some memory can be really awkward, or when you die and float. So there's like some cute ideas that the purple hybrid players have been coming up with. But I mean, taking your Albino Gabumon and kind of just running it down will always be a good strategy. And we're just going to keep double. Well, okay, the Floodgate is in the back. That's actually probably what I would maybe like to see is if he commits the Mimi that he has in hand and then commits the Louis. I think you've set up base, not unbreakable board, but you've set up good enough. He doesn't have a Pomumon down, and purple mercifully doesn't have a Pomu yet. But we're going to go for a boost instead. Just going to replenish the boosts that we've got, and we're going to reveal 4 hybrids off of that. 2 Dusks gone. And this is... yeah, this is pretty good. We're going to swing. If this dies, we're going to be getting +1. We're going to hit the Gallantmon, so that is indeed going to be Pitch Velga finally. Gain a memory. Swing the Uko. Gonna be Jesmon. Oh, we're pitching the Louis? Oh, no. I mean, I guess it doesn't super matter. We're going to go into the Duskmon. Duskmon changed the cool boy's color to, I don't know, yellow. Genuinely does not matter. And then this is going to be... it's only going to be mill 1. So, like, we're probably not doing all that much. Swing Velga. And then both players mill 1. Both milling a Royal Knight, which is funny. And there should just be one singular check at 9k. Well, not big enough. Going to hit the medieval. So then that's going to get deleted. On deletion, we get a free Tamer out. I guess he could float into the Louis. If he floats into the Louis here, this is game. Because as long as he doesn't hit Crimson Blaze, that's the only thing that I don't like about this line. Is he had lethal. He had lethal. Do you have to float in? Yeah, because you don't have to float into a purple Tamer, right? Like you can float into... you can float into anything. Duskmon, inherit. You may play 1 purple Tamer with a 4-cost or that. Yeah, so the correct line here is actually... yeah, we had lethal. We had lethal if they sequence this correctly. So what you do is you swing the Psychmon, you swing the Velga. Velga, you blow yourself up no matter what. Float into the Louis. Louis pushes out the rookie, you swing for game. So discard decisions that kind of cost them there. And they lost the Psychmon. So what you have done is you have chosen to let Royal Knights play the game. That said, there's only 2 guys under the... there's only 2 guys in the tree. One of them standing right here and looking at you. And the problem is he can't swing it. So what he's done now is he's established a blocker off of the Purge. But there's potentially 3 Tamers at a boost and a rookie in the back. And that Keenan is a memory setter, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the 4-cost Keenan. So he's a memory setter. And then when one of your Ravemon is deleted, suspend the Tamer to draw 1. If it's deleted by effect, gain a memory. So rather than being the 3-cost one, yeah, we are just going to scoop up because he's recognized that there's four checks to deal with. So it's still going to be a nice game 1 for Purple Hybrid. This is still a very Purple Hybrid favored matchup, but yeah, looking good. Thanks to the people that are showing up. Yeah, this is really, really rough. Like if you're Hasman trying to get your local invite, you really, really did not want to deal with Purple Hybrid this early on in bracket. I'd say it's probably the deck you'd be looking to avoid the most. But yeah, I mean, even then, room for improvement, as we can see. Yeah, Jabba, you saw the lethal line as well. It is what it is. Like, you know, not all of them can be, you know, Chef Jamboree. Not all of them can be on that different level. Go into Glasgow for your definitely not best of 1 regional. They don't got that day 2 energy in them. But still, like, outside of throwing lethal, they had an alright game plan. Definitely very, very unfortunate for Hussman how slow his knights were. Like, I've never seen a slower curve for Royal Knights ever. Like, statistically, I don't think you could have had a slower start. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Oh, my Switch is downstairs, but like, Loki, what if we play some Pokemon Unite between rounds? Thoughts? Any thinkers? The message my brother sent me is like, you know, my main got buffed. And I'm like, And hopefully we'll get the updates as well from the general gang to see how they're doing. Hopefully Mr. Nice Tie is doing all right because he came down. All right, getting shuffled. It's been a long shuffle, but I mean, I was gonna say it's not like they're gonna go to time, but I mean they might. Royal Knights can slow the game down quite a bit. Man, they be taking their time. So it's not an actual regional, it's a store regional. So it's going to be, I think, max 6 rounds. The Pontypool regional was 5 rounds, and that was a 32 cap. So I'd imagine that it's six rounds for store regional. 6 rounds, though, top cut is what I'd be expecting. Might end up being 5, but I'd expect 6, maybe 7 top. Which, I mean, 7 is basically a regional. 64 players, though. More than I ever saw Battle Spirits get. Yeah, alrighty. So, Royal Knight's going first this time. And this would be a time that I don't mind seeing Last Guardian. Obviously, I'd prefer to see Magnamon, personally. Yo, OmniX off the rip again. And then Gotsu for the mirror. Alan X. Yo. Alan X is a weird one. I don't understand why we have the Gallon X. 6 confirmed for a 64 man. Splendid. Yeah, because London fully capped, so it is 64 people. I think as long as you're in a 4 invite setting, then it's there. Gonna see Mimi into purple memory boost. Goodbye. Rui. I would like to see the Nidhogg picked up, but I don't think I saw a 4 in his hand. So, Jaeger makes a lot more sense there. Oh, and then using it to get the 2 choke. I was wondering if he was going to save it to try and be annoying on Huss's turn. But it's not like we have a memory setter. Yo, is that MFIU with the follow? Welcome to Speak Academy. Enjoy your stay. Appreciate the follow. And we're going to see Jessamon, and we're going to show up with the token. Yo, he's got the nice tokens. Atho Rene Paul. Uko find Uko, rehatch. And do we just keep Uko Turban? Hopefully you can show him to the camera. But I'd message Jamie to be like, yo, get Hassman to flex his tokens, but Jamie's fighting for his life over on some other table. Appreciate everyone that's dropped by through the Twitch, dropped by through the YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, hit like on the stream. It helps put it to the front page for other people that don't have, that aren't subscribed and stuff. Also, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Twitch, you can subscribe for free. with Twitchy Prime. We're gonna see. I don't hate that, the Gazimon. It means that the option cards, he is really playing on some hater level stuff. So I'm gonna collapse the tree, and then we've got the Jessamon not moving security over yet. I think we're about to see OmniX. Okay, so we're definitely on red base with the we are on red base with the fire rocket. That's how this is being designed. Whoa, a second Mimi. Luckily this is a reboot blocker. That's why we're on the red base. That's so interesting because you just run fire rocket to try and kill them. We're gonna have the OmniX come down, and then you bot deck. No, Huss, you do it the other way. You bot deck the Ukomon because, yeah, that has the on deletion, and then you swing into the Gazi without suspending. And you hit the Gazimon so hard it flies off the table, and you hit a boost. There's no way. He's actually putting it. He's doing it the goated way. The tree's at full mass, so he condenses the tree, compresses the tree, and then has the "you're dead" meter building up next to his security. Really, really funny way of doing it. I love unconventional. I love non-standard breeding area stuff for like Royal Knights players. Really, really funny. I mean, we have a blocker. You have two blockers and you let it through? Oh, you know what? He's probably... No, you still... If you're... Oh, the Velga's going to be huge now. That's kind of concerning. Gonna leave the OmniX. Yeah, gonna leave the OmniX because that's going to be 4 colors. So blue, white, red, and then you get to change the Athranian Paw to like purple. So how big is Velga actually going to be now? Velga's going to be massive because we mill 4. Velga is plus 1k for everything trash, and it's a 7k body. So this is 11k. Oh, that doesn't matter. Omnimon's massive. You just block this with Omni. Yeah, you block this with Omni. It's going to on-delete, and it will not float. And now if he wants to go into Dustmon, he still has to cycle the color of the Athranian Paw, which means no matter what, Athranian Paw can try and decoy. Well, I guess it can't try and decoy if it's deleted to delete something else. We would go to Dustmon again, which means we get another 4 mil. But you're not getting any extra colors, so we're changing the color of that once again. The fact that he didn't commit a cool boy or anything like that looks pretty good. We go into a second Velga. And this Velga again is still plus 4. So this is an 11k Velga. And we're swinging at security. You might as well block this. Well, no, actually, that's not that bad. Ha! Not beating the Muppet allegations. So, swung at security, deleted himself to delete the token, and just got decoyed. Because he refused to change the color of the OmniX in order to get the DP, that is still a red Digimon, meaning it can be decoyed. So, we actually take the only bad route. We take the only bad route in that situation. And even if he had done it, we still had Last Guardian. He was trying to pop the Last Guardian to make it so the Omni isn't going to hit him for 2 checks next turn. But because we've done it in this exact way, we're in so much trouble. I don't know if he's going to be on the Ginkaku as well, where you go, you turn like Koichi into Dusk or Velga and then into Ginkaku to get a chip. There's not really any point. Now, what's good within Crisis? We're doing well. We're enjoying the regional. We're getting to see, for me, some local friends. And now we're going to see Gallantmon come down. So now we actually do have to pop the Omniac. Because the only problem is, when he swings, it's going to get rid of it as well. I don't know if there was any point. I personally might have just kept it. It's going to die on the swing. So you get rid of Omniacs and you run straight into Omnimon. We take those. And then down comes Koichi, passes 3. It's actually kind of a shame that the Cool Boy didn't float into an Omeka. That might have actually been like a really, really sick way of doing something. We're going to see Purge. Purge, draw 1. Customer, I beg you actually have something. You are sitting on so many option cards in this option cards, man. I beg you have a card that does something. He's going to 3 anyway. Please. 2 costs. 2 cost Gallant X. You just gotta pray, bro. Gonna go to 3. Draw. Wait, no, he gained a memory incorrectly. Yeah, I'm missing the set you had at Jukes. Yeah, there's definitely some like quality stuff for it. That Ukamon was illegal. You're supposed to hatch first, gain a memory, but he gained a memory first. And it wasn't like he was using the start of main on the Koichi. So we should actually be at 3 here. But, well, I mean, okay, we can still be at 4. It's just that you wouldn't get the hatch. Man like Jamboree. Man like Jamboree would slap him down. I'm like, nope. Put that egg away. In this economy. Swing. Okay. Okay. Play Omeka? You gotta play Omeka, right? Yeah, play the Omeka from trash. That is unfortunate. The only problem is there's no Omnimon X. Well, Omnimon X is evolved from hand. But now because you hit it, you're bluffing, and because it didn't die, that's probably memory that you're expecting to get back. Man, if he loses to like an Uko Louis push, I'm gonna be so mad because we shouldn't have gotten this back. Not everyone sees it, not everyone knows the nerdy stuff. But this should, in theory, just be Koichi Dusk. Yeah, you go Dusk over this Koichi. It means that when you do the combo, the Koichi is still going to be able to get it. That Gallantmon certainly is 3 colors. So you've got the chance to go 5 colors here if you change the Cool Boy or the Omekamon to... You just make either of them purple. Then you'll have 5 colors. I'm going to change the Cool Boy. Make him purple, black. You know, I'd say blue, but Gallant X is red, blue, yellow. So we're gonna go into Velga, draw for Evo, and then both players mill 5. Whoa, that's a lot of Koichis to disappear. And then, are you gonna block it? I feel like you have to because you're threatening OmniX. Goes into the tree. Yeah, and there was no way of clearing the Gallant X from this position. I think the fact that we didn't block it the fact that we blocked it rather than blasting shows that we're not on Crimson mode, or actually no, I guess he's protected from Digimon effects, isn't he? Bro, you not protected by Digimon effect? Am I, gang? Am I? Bro, you have 0 or less memory. You. Your Gallantmon is protected. That's why we play it. Oh my gosh. Bro, this matchup's so difficult. Don't make it harder for no reason. Yeah, the Gallantmon, like, is there... Where is the judge, bro? Where is the London judge? Hasman, please. I beg. That's crazy. It's an all turns. Like, I was gonna hate on the Gallant X, but I will hate on the Gallant X if we're not gonna be using the Gallant X as reason to Gallant X. Oh. If I was in London, if I'd taken the train down to London, I would have saved this man. I would have saved him. I would have made him stand there. Yeah, the judge cannot save you from yourself. Man, I hadn't even considered that. All right. Well, yeah, we're in spectator mode. We are simply just watching stuff happen. All right, we're gonna block. And then we're gonna explode. Gonna get a memory back off the Koichi. And he's holding so many red cards. Like, if he could, that's the most frustrating thing about it is low-key. Let me just read Gallantmon X. I think he has, he unironically had game next turn. When Digivolving end of attack? Yeah, he legit, depending on how much he got past, just had game. Because he's sitting on Fire Rocket, Joust, and has a Purge live. Like, unironically, if he just kept the Gallant X, he goes Rocket or Joust, swing 2, unsuspend, burn 1, like, probably not burn 1, I guess, because it didn't. Actually, no, I guess the Ukamon would eat 1, but then he just purged Jesmon. Jesmon play token. We actually have game in this situation if he actually just did it. Okay, so there is a judge. The judge was just somewhere else. Judge is late. Yeah, because we don't have players mic'd up, I have no idea what the judge is saying. I think we're just checking to see what the Gallantmon is going to be doing. We deleted something. Oh, that's cute. Right. I think they were checking the sequencing. So it was gain a memory and then do it. And then purge out. There's no way he still has game, right? Oh my gosh. He actually low-key might still have game. If he does Joust, swing this. This is 2 checks. and then swing on suspect. Oh my gosh, he still has game as long as he... Please, Husman, please. There's no way, please. There's no way, please. Oh. Drop a rocket. Yeah, drop a rocket. Let's go. Drop a rocket, 2 checks on suspend. Calling. Velga. Let's go. Even if we kick the win down the road 15 times, eventually we'll catch up to it. There are no wrong ways to build knights. And even when you pilot them blind, you can still get to your destination. It's a train, not a plane. That's crazy. I cannot believe we're going to game 3. That's crazy. Press 1 in chat if you were a believer. If you were a believer, we were going to game 3. Press 1 in chat. I expect to see a bunch of 2s. Yeah, so we made that even harder than it needed to be. Even harder than it needed to be. And somehow we still got it. He didn't need to use it. So the reason I would have preferred to see Joust. Also, you can feel pretty confident he probably wasn't on a bomb because we'd seen double rivals, I think, already. I would probably have preferred to see Rocket on the... Well, he was holding Joust as well. I would have preferred to see Joust on the Gallantmon just so you can... just so you can kind of bait the bomb onto the Gallantmon, and then that leaves the Gallant X. Because basically, as long as the first check goes through, you're in a pretty good situation. Realistically, you need the Gallantmon X to survive. Like, there's no instance where first check bomb doesn't just take lethal off board. So I don't mind the commitment of the sec +1 option. I just personally I would have put it on the Gallantmon. But you know, he is down there. I mean, realistically, if he just remembered that his Gallantmon X was protected, then it wouldn't matter because we would have had 3 bodies. So even when we hit a bomb, we would have been okay. But we chose to do things like maybe he's doing a challenge run. Challenge run, no protection. Or maybe he's just trolling. One of the two. We are going to see El Rookie. And once again, we are going to get the big tree and get the 1 choke. This is going to be an Ukamon that will not get to do any chip damage, but when would they ever chip? We know that Joust is in place. You never really want to intentionally chip because you put Joust live for the rest of the game. And now Ukamon Turbo continues to do what it does best. And we're going to put the King in New York. Get him with the yer. And then we're going to get to draw 1 when it leaves. And you could commit a Cool Boy here, but I think I prefer to see Omeka. Yeah, putting Omeka down. I like that. We're looking at rookies, so you're not really having to worry about the Tamer just yet. So he's going to take the Koichi. I actually low-key think I would take the Mimi. Whoa. We got some slippery, probably just freshly sleeved cards here. I personally would have taken the Mimi because I think I would have liked to see the Mimi to tax the options. Because like from this position, you'd probably expect that he's going to try and commit Last Guardian or something like that. And there's going to be... I mean, how bad can checking top 6 for free be? Did we run out of rookies? Yeah, we ran out of rookies. That's funny. Gonna swing 1. if you're going to block one, you might as well just block the first one. Or you can... or Ryuken's been first check security each time. Going to pitch off the Velga this time. We go up to 3. This is why I wasn't super keen on... letting it through, because what if he doesn't swing the next? Do you find a rookie in the cycle? Yeah, so you just took a chip for no reason. I don't... Like, nothing he swings would ever beat over the Omeka, so I don't know why you don't just block it. Like, maybe you hit a cool boy and you go, wow, the cool boy came through. Like, yeah, maybe it lives. But realistically, I personally would try and, like, why chip? Yeah, if they're swinging it, they really, you know, they want it to die. But just going to get the value where we can. The fact that you're on red build does mean that your damage calcs are really, really awkward. Yeah, if you're not going to be blocking, do hit a Mimi. Is what it is. Crimson mode? Okay. Wait. Psychmon's right here. Can you even afford it? Oh, we are going to play the Psychmon. We are, yeah, Psychmon, kill it. Hey, we have a blocker. Yeah, this... Especially because you're going to be passing so much memory. Because you're passing so much memory, I would have really preferred to see... I really would have preferred to see this block. I think this one damage is going to matter so much. Because you've got 2 Tamers. If you take the Louis... If you take the Louis and draw a rookie, you have game. Because this is 2 rookies on board, 2 hybrids, and then the rookie in the back is the 5th chip. You have 1 blocker, so... I mean, you have 1 blocker, but you'd imagine that if they sequence this with the Dusk first, then you're fine. You turn the Jesmon purple. Asman, if you don't block this, I will be deeply disappointed. Please block it. Please block it. For everything that's good in this world, please block it. I beg you with everything in my fiber. We do not block it. I beg and plead. I beg and plead. Please use the block keyword. It's been in the game since the start of the game for a reason. Did he pitch the Louis? Ah, it's 2 people that don't want to win. It's 2 people that don't want to win. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Ah, it's crazy. And now we're pitching memory boosts. There's no way. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, there's no way we're pitching whilst we're still on full. Why would we not spend the memory first? Here comes Dustmon. Now, gang, we're going to see whether... We're picking every possible wrong option on both sides of the board. Every single wrong option. Holy. So this is normally what we see in round 1, where the players, you know, nervous and trolling. Yeah, for sure, but that just insane. This is crazy. So, not only did we not see blocker, we didn't turn the Jesmon a different color. So the decoy's still alive. What time and day are the locals at Fanboy 3? So, we aim to start, if we can start at 6:30, we get 4 rounds. We get to do 3 normal rounds and a lightning round. If we start any later than 6:35, we usually do 3 rounds. We are swinging, and this is going to... Oh, wait. Can the Gallantmon... What is happening? Oh, he doesn't get to clear the Crimson Ace because he does actually have to clear the low bodies. Hits a Gallant X, so it lives. And crack the boost. All right, so now we get to go Dusk Velga this way. Finally, we're going to clear this body. You can't go Crimson mode Ace Acer. But yeah, generally, we tell people 6:30 in hopes that we can get going. This is going to be security check. It hits the Megalo. Dies on the second check, though. So, we're bailed out once again. We're bailed out once again. Oh, man, this is so funny. What a strange game. We're going to float into the Louis. Oh, my gosh, he still doesn't have lethal. He still doesn't have lethal. Despite everything going wrong, we have somehow the Crimson mode was baller. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the Crimson mode kept him safe because there was a line where he did just die to 5 hits, but the Crimson mode goes crazy. Speaking of goes crazy, everyone owed everyone wave to the lovely wife. Hi, Jade. Wait, did this Ukamon do? He did gain a memory hatch again, didn't he? I got distracted, but did we see gain a memory hatch again? Did we see some trolling? Either way, we're gonna swing check the last. Yo, 36. Back to the Dirklings. W Womans. And did you know you can also light up this bar is, I mean, it's supposed to turn purple. When there's a subscription, if you like lighting up the overlay, then that's where it's at. Sub hype. Man. There's no shot he's still on Merva, right? Like, I'm looking at the Jack raid. Man, I'd be... Because there's no way they're on Crimson mode Ace as well. So, this Gallantmon... Yeah, this Gallantmon is nothing. If you have a bomb, you have to commit it. But the fact that we've got one face down and milled, I think... Low-key... Chat, I think... Are we cooked? If we're purple hybrid, are we cooked? There's no way, right? There's no way. Like, I think we're cooked, low key. Yeah, we're going through all these cards in hand trying to figure out what we're gonna do. You like the playmats? Yeah, the playmats are really, really nice. So the one on the right is a Cinnabali one by... Well, yeah, it's a Cinnabali one showing all the Royal Knights. And then the left one... Bolcharo X. Oh! Was that Jack? Okay, it was Jack Raid. And then Psychmon. That was so... The memory gauge moving like that was crazy. The actual jump scare, that is not a Royal Knight, so it's not going to get sucked back up. All right. Start counting. Start counting. Is the game over? Is that 10? How many are in his... I wasn't paying attention at all. All right, so this is swing, burn, Burn 3. Burn 3. And hit the boost. Drop an Omni X. Drop an Omni X. Wait, did he scoop? No. Did he scoop? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think he scooped. Because you can't reduce the Gallantmon because of the Psychmon. No way. The Psychmon actually mattered. All right, well that was some of the craziest trolling of all time. All right, the overlay does light up, turned it green. Your big ups with the gifted. Yeah, 15 for Omni, and you can't reduce the cost of the Gallantmon because the Crimson mode is on board. Wow, that's difficult. That is difficult to deal with. But yeah, we did a lot of trolling. Yo, the five gifted from Kaylin Muriel. So bunch of you getting membership to the Twitch. All right, let's confirm that. Yeah, 1-2. So yeah, did have to scoop that, and we're getting a break after this round, bro. Like I said, the chip damage mattered. He took too much. He took too much off of random chip. If he has another turn, I think he just wins that. This is what VOD review is for. Not everyone gets the chance to get VOD review. But this will be one that he looks back on and goes, damn, I was trolling. In fact, both of them are going to be looking back and going, damn, I was trolling. I was trolling from the high heavens, throwing from orbit. But yeah, here at Darksphere, going to be going on a break, which means it might be time for me to go get my Switch from downstairs. I'm going to play some Unite for an hour. How long's the break, Jamie? Okay, so it's only 25-30 minutes. Wait, oh, after next round. Okay, so we're good. We actually do get another round. Get round 3, and then we get to take a little breaksies, and then we got through 3 more. Remember, congrats to everyone that just got a free sub, and also everyone that did sub. Yo, yo, another 5 gifteronies. Everyone joining the subscription pile. Yo, so, bro, I can't even read my own notifications. I got stuff popping up that's just going foolish. But yeah, if you're on Twitch, welcome to the Twitch subscriber gang. And if you're on YouTube, hope you're having a good time. Make sure to hit the like on the stream as well, so that way I can get boosted to the front page. We get more people getting eyes on the London regional, and hopefully round 3 is going to be a little bit cleaner. But yeah, we'll throw it back to me, and we are chilling. I like the new Darksphere logo. The new Darksphere logo goes crazy. That's super clean. Big fan of that. But yeah, we've got not much time. That actually did take a while. I think Tom. Yeah. Overtime just started, so we got like 5 minutes left. Looks like a no-go for Tom. I don't know how Jamie's doing. Yeah, worst nightmare. Like actually crazy how that was like peak round 1. Normally I show up, it's 8:45 on a Sunday, bright and early. And I sit down to watch some European Digimon, and I see lines never before seen. And they are incredible. They invent new and interesting ways to lose the game. Yo, the Bone Duster's here? Oh, big ups, Bone Duster. Right now, based on 2 rounds of resistances, we've got Spider Sheep Tom, previous 2nd place at a Birmingham regional. We got Lawmed, we got Zaki and Veer. So of those names, I recognize 1st and 2nd, and then Veer, obviously we just saw on stream playing Purple Hybrid. Rounding out top 8, we've got James, Damien, Matt37, and the Bone Duster. Obviously, you know, it's only 2 rounds, so it's not like we expect anything. These aren't really indicative of what we've got. Yo. Okay, wait, I just got to show this. Man's got mats on mats on mats on mats. That's crazy. Got the Final Fantasy mat. He's got... And there's 2 mats in the backup as well. Also, the green and tan pants, they go hella nice together. But you know, like the Zelda gamer fit. Like y'all know what I'm talking about. You know the Zelda gamer fit. Like y'all seen this? Like low key. I kind of, y'all see the vision? That said though, I would rock that. Want to make it big screen? I mean, not right now. Wait, they got Moogle sleeves. Okay, yeah, I actually do want to go big screen for this. Yo, they got the full Final Fantasy setup. That's kind of sick. I would flame for having 3 mats and still having to use like a starter deck memory counter, but it looks kind of... I respect the dedication to the craft. Yeah, the the London scene does have some good players. That is where that sentence is going to end. Also, Joe is not playing. So the guy that won the Glasgow regional is not playing. He's judging. But he is the only judge. So he's judging for, you know, 64 players, which is why he can't babysit the stream. Which means if they misplay, they misplay. We've got Solomon Kane and Lawmed. I feel like I've definitely met Lawmed in person. So Magidramon versus Hunters. This actually is a matchup I've not seen. I'm glad the Hunters is getting some representation. I think Hunters is a really, really cool deck. I think it's really, really solid. It looks like both the boys are... Is it both Jamie and Tom are X1, so unlucky. I think Jamie actually lost to Solomon, maybe. So we would have seen Mr. Mini Kill on stream. We won't be though. He did lose to a deck from... Ain't no way we're popping out the memory counter. This is insanity. There is no... What a... Come to Darksphere where we have... We have the craziest things. I realize my overlay is blocking the Darksphere logo. I'm going to ask Jamie to bump it up. Oh. Yeah, I mean, if I unfull screen this, you can see the Darksphere logo. I don't really want to block the Darksphere logo. So I'm going to unthingy it for now. And looks like we're going to open up with Rookie. And who's going to be the tamer? We're going to get the man of the hour, the captain, the teacher, Taiki Kudo. To open up. I'm going to draw hatch that. I mean, it has to be Gigimon. Like, there's no way that that is a Demi-Meramon that I'm looking at. The glare just makes it really hard to see. Yeah. It's really funny because I was going to say they're probably doing it so you're both keeping track of the memory. Oh my gosh. He opened no Rookie and can't. Oh, it's not looking good. Gang, it's not looking good. We're going to Taiki load War because you don't need the Digivolve right now. And then we're going to go Gumdramon to Destiny draw. And we've given up on having to play mats. Thank you. All right. Hits security. So we are going to draw one on delete and get the save. Thank you for doing it in the correct order. I love when players don't introduce new and interesting ways to throw effect. We're going to cross up here. Oh, did you cross? Actually, kind of a slow hand. So we're going to load the Arresta Superior in order to draw one. I think we're digging for a 4 that's better. But, I mean, you're not really in a position to worry about this. Lormed genuinely has opened nothing. And I think maybe you open past this turn if you can't boost. And you go from there. Because the problem I have... That's an on-play? I forgot it was an on-play. The problem I have here is... You are playing against the deck that does have Arrested Dramon Superior mode. The one thing that you could maybe count as a positive is we haven't seen... any other tamers, but the new Arrested Dramon Superior mode does get massive and has raid. So the thing that you could be concerned about is that you don't have as much safety. Like, you can just get raided over. Ew, Agunimon. Yeah, the hero Agunimon is a 2-cost Evo. I don't think it's going to do anything too crazy. Kind of early to be revealing that as a hand, especially when you're in a position where you're probably not losing. But just gets to load up a source, which is going to be the plus 2k, which is pretty neat. So Solomon's actually in a really, really good position. I'm going to swing. Yeah, he's huge here. And then gets to evolve into Arresta Superior. Yeah, just lets it through. I think he was considering going into Arresta Superior mode, which actually would have beaten over the Megidramon. But ultimately willing to just let that stack go. And then, honestly, low-key, I would probably actually try and go Arresta Superior mode off the... Yeah, I think we're just reading the Taiki. It's been a while since people have seen Hunter's cards. So it's probably that. Ooh, do draw into the Uamano. Oh, and it does get to play... Is it the same as Shoutmon King version? New Arrestramon is on play when Digivolve, play one Tamer card with Hunter Hero. Yep, that will play the Uamano. So drew it off the top, then gets to play it. And then we get to swing draw 2. And then hits a Graumon, so it does live. I kind of thought we were going to try and see him go Arresta Superior to get the Megidramon underneath the Analog Youth, which would probably be close. Or you go into this Arresta Superior, which can attack without suspending. We're technically doing this a little bit wrong. So the Uamano is the same as the other Taikis. It is a Wrathed as well. So even though it says plus 2k, it's actually gain a memory for its start of main. But the main thing is you're reducing the Evo cost. So it can swing raid here, which we're going to swing at security and then draw one off the new inherit. And then are you going to raid? You really should raid here. You're going to lose your entire stack, but you lose it next turn anyway if this Megidra makes it back to him. So personally, I would have preferred to see him just trade the stack. You have a rookie in the back and, you know, you are hunters. Okay, I like that way less. It's possible I'm just seeing something incorrect, but the way personally I would have preferred to see that is go keep a rookie so that way you can digicross and then make a Resta over that for rush. But that said, oh, it's a really weird place to be in. Fine to get a rookie. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're just going to try and drop a Gallant. You will still get save, and you'll have cross up. So maybe you actually still can do Psychmon. Oh, Psychmon bring the Arrestadramon back out from saving. Okay, yeah, that does work. And he has to clear the Arrester because he's on 1 security, so he does have to try and cut it down. So you do actually have to grab crush here. Or you just scoop. You're not going to show too much. I mean, it's Megidramon, but like, I couldn't really tell if Solomon has a huge amount of Megidramon practice just based on the lines he was taking. The lines ultimately are going to work out fine. So yeah, it's really, I mean, really clean game 1. A couple of things that maybe different players would do differently. But I mean, we said it in round 1 and say it again. Doesn't matter how good you are as a player. If you open no rookie, you kind of lose the game. Unless, of course, you're playing Royal Knights, in which case Lamal. But, you know, if you're trying to play Digimon and Digivolve and you open no rookie, you do lose 75% of the games you open no rookie. So, unfortunate there from Lormed. Megidramon is known to brick every so often. It's usually once a run. You'll just have the game where you open nothing and you do just kind of watch your opponent win the game. The one benefit of not scooping until just then means that we do get to see more of Solomon's deck. That is one like saving grace, I guess, for Lormed here is you got to see more cards. You got to pick up and read a lot more of the cards so you can try and understand how the line works. I'm going to open up with Psychmon once again. And the Taiki. Rookie. You love to see it. Rejoice. We might actually get a game. I wouldn't mind a slammed Graumon here, but we're going to see slammed... Ooh, red memory boost. What? Oh, we're on red memory boost and red training. Interesting. I wonder if that's because he doesn't have the purple stuff, or maybe he has shinier versions of the red stuff and wants to flex those. Or maybe this is a London moment where even the good players do have some questionable decisions in deck building. Yeah, I'm not really sure why we have the red boost because admittedly, last game, he didn't open boost or training either, but if you're sitting on red and purple mem boost and training, well, if you're sitting on red boost, red training, and you're sitting there with your purple egg and you're just sitting there bricking, you feel pretty stupid. But they are really pretty. The Guilmon boosts in a Guilmon deck do look really nice. I'm going to draw one because we have save in text, and we do have jamming, Bomboklat, but it's not going to matter. As we're going to see the Youth of today. Whoa, child-on-child violence. Going to add the only target, and that's 2 analog youths dead. As far as things go, this has been the low rolls of all time for Lormed. Like, analog killing 2 analogs out of security as well, so it's not like there's anything he could have done to, like, do his actions differently, is vile. I mean, technically, he accelerated off the boost and the Guilmon X, so like, you know, unfortunate timing. Gonna swing jamming, and we are gonna hit a hammer spot in the security, so the Jack Raid gain 2 memory is gonna give us a reasonable amount to play with. Chat, there's no way he's dead, right? Gilmon turned into Gilmon X for 0. So we're going to check top 3. And then this is going to be, we're going to add the Gallantmon, not... yeah, that's the BT13 Gallantmon. It's the alt art, the secret Gallant. Going to add that to hand, and then we're going to bot deck the Grav Crush and things. So that's another extender that's kind of disappearing. Cracking the boost really early. Gilmon for 2. Gilmon, attempt to delete, nothing to delete, mill 2. So we're going to lose the training and a Grav Crush. All right, so we've seen 2 Grav Crushes. We've seen 2 analog use. So he's not... We're not going to be catch-up gaming, that's for sure. Like, we're missing a lot of the gas, but we'll see what he's got. No Digimon I designed setup either. But we're going to go red scramble. Yeah, he must just want to be resolving the red stuff. That's so weird to me. This deck is a purple... Like, obviously, you know, if you're playing the game, it's fine. It's just if you open no rookie like you did game 1 and you open rookies but no rookie but boost, you feel like an idiot. Either way, red technically does find more cards. Like, it finds the Gallantmons, and the red trainings find Grav Crush. So I guess that's probably the reasoning behind it. More so than just, hey, I have shiny versions. The actual correct, like, oh, this is why I've done it this way, is because you find your option cards and your tech cards. We are going to turn Arrestadramon into what the hell? Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's insanity. Hunters always have the toolbox. Gun to my head, would not have seen that coming. When he was like, all right, he's threatening the ace, I was going, what red aces is he going... What red aces is he going to clear? That said, though, we are still sitting on 1 float. Which is kind of... It's kind of worrying, actually. We need to figure out how many cards in trash we're going to have after this. Because he's going to want to float into... He's going to want to float into a Rush Guilmon so he can get rid of it. So then he can make Secret Gallant to clear the stack. But that's super clean. We're going to add back with the Gigimon. And then we're going to have everything disappear. And then are we going to float? The correct answer is no. But we're going to float into the Rush Guilmon. Why are we floating into the Rush Guilmon? We've just taken Secret Gallant offline by doing it this way. Do we have a second 4? If we have a second 4, then maybe you can just use it to aggressively mill. But I really did not like the float into the Guilmon. I would have liked to keep that separate so you can do the Gallant. 14 cards in trash. Crush? Okay, I think we're just going to try and do what we can then. This doesn't have Rush. So, like, we're not making anything of it. Mill 2. There goes Promo Gallant. There should be 15 cards. And then you go Gil X over that. 1. Oh, okay. He's reading the Promo Gallant. It is slightly different to Secret Gallant, but it's still something of note. I feel like you have to commit the Growl X over this so you can stay sticky. Like, you've already committed to being on board, so I think you have to go Growl X here. So that way, when something bad happens to you, you're going to get some extra value. So this will be draw 1, trash. Ooh, another piece of ketchup. Another sachet. As a reminder, whatever we pass here, we're losing 2. So you actually can't pass too much because they can play from thin air. But you don't crush again. Like, you accept. You do not crush again. There's no way you crush again. There's no way this has Rush, right? Do we have 20 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, we don't have 18, so it can't attack. This is why I thought the float was kind of troll. And yeah, we're just going to pass 2 and then end of turn lose 2. I like that he keeps the Grav Crush on board. So, I mean, we're on 19. We're on 19. But at the time the Guilmon came down, I think we'd milled 2 and then we drew 1 trash one. So we put 3 extra cards. This could have been not wraps. I mean, okay, yeah, it's still wraps, but like this could have been a lot better if he'd not floated and just committed the Secret Gallon. Yeah, it costs a lot, but you would have got an Overflow 4 back. Dark Dramon's crazy. I'm actually kind of surprised that we didn't see Dark Dramon in a lot of that Dark Master spam toolbox that we saw. Because I know, you know, people have been asking for that list. Hopefully you'll get it soon. But I'm kind of surprised that Dark Dramon Ace hasn't shown up in that. Seems kind of strange, actually, for it to not have done so. Looks like we're going to go... Dracmon's an interesting one, because Dracmon is return Tamers to hand. And Digicross, you're just going to send back a duplicate Taiki. And that gets a singular draw. Swing when attacking. It's offense training. And because you sent the Taiki back, it means that your King version isn't getting anything extra. I'm kind of confused. Yeah, neither does the Arrester. I'm kind of confused as to why we sent back our only Tamer. If you had a surplus of Tamers, I get it. But like, why did we not do it? I also, they're technically ordering this in a weird situation. Oh, there was a Tagaru? Okay. No, that was just hidden somewhere. It's also interesting they prioritize the Arrester over the King version. Like, neither one seems particularly better than the other, like, off rip. Because they both have... Yeah, they both have double save, so I guess it actually doesn't matter. Choke to 1. Famously, though, Megidramon can play from this position. Please unsuspend your Analog Youth. Any Analog Youth unsuspenders? Thank you. All right, so we missed Scramble. Okay, we're just going to try and kill him. The fact that the Hunters player didn't set up a kill from this position is kind of unfortunate. We're going to draw 1 trash one, of course. I'm kind of shocked that we committed the Grav Crush now. Normally, the Megidramon players Grav Crush at the end to be like, haha, you didn't see this coming. Unmapped memory. Yippee. But this is just going to be Arrestadramon, not Arrestadramon Superior Mode. So we're going to get the Mill 2 off the War Growl. And then this is going to be turning into Megidramon. Swing when attacking. Warp for 2 because we've got 20 cards in trash. Still no cards in trash on the side of Hunters, by the way. Oh, and we're on that Growlmon to gain Sec +1. So this is 3 checks. This is 3 checks. Because he went for the explosion and the Growlmon was going to get exploded anyway. That's such a cute way of doing this. We are going to hit cross up in security as the 3rd check. I just need to... Cross up is in security. You may play 1 card with save with a play cost of 5 or less from your hand. Or trash, then add this card to hand. So we're going to get the Gumdramon out, which is then going to get the Destiny draw. Pitch 1 to draw 2. And then cross up goes to hand. And then this is now going to be a full board of bodies. And then we're going to explode everything. So that poor Gumdramon, he showed up just to immediately get cooked. We are going to get to save, and then the Gumdramon also saves. Oh, the Gumdramon doesn't save. Interesting. Why's the Gumdramon not save? Yeah, this is on delete save, so it can save if you want to. I guess he chose not to. Which is weird. You'd think that you would want to save to try and reduce the number of cards in both players' trashes. It is kind of strange. Maybe it won't matter. But look how much memory we have now, man. Now we actually are floating into Rushkill. And this is float into... Oh, okay, yeah, we're just going to scoop. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Game 3. So, a bit wonky. Honestly, I kind of am sad that Solomon wasn't able to push his advantage more. You think after getting the, catching the Megidramon kind of, unexpected, that's your time to be like, hey, sorry you bricked game 1, but I've practiced the matchup. I've teched for this matchup. You weren't ready for this. Die. But again, these sorts of things just kind of slipping through the cracks. Was able to showcase a cool tech, but wasn't really able to push his advantage off of it. So ultimately lets Megidramon back into the game. Obviously, he did draw Grav Crush again, but he was given the opportunity to dig for it. And also, let's not pretend that Lawmed was just getting the craziest draws of all time when his analog out of security killed 2 more of his analogs. Hitting a training in security was nice because it meant that he didn't have to go as much. So I think honestly he could have done all of that without revealing the Grav Crush. I think he just put it down there as I'm gonna do it. You know what? He tried to do it the most ethical way. That is why he is the law / medicine. He's trying to show you your rights. He's reading you your Miranda rights. You have the right to gain 2 memories should this game end. Just going to see Gumdramon plus Uamano. So not going to be going as plus in hand this time, but we will get to squeeze extra memory out of it. Opening with the B-lister this time, we've got Heal X, but we'll take a B-lister over no one showing up at all. And pretty early going to go up into the 4. Kind of ugly the way we've done this, but we're just going to make 3, 4, 5 in the back. Something that you generally hate to see, but I mean, he's not going to be playing on board, so it does make sense. Start of main, load to gain a memory. Looks like we're going to stay in the back. And we're going to Gumdramon, pitch the Arrester to draw 2. Going to draw a second Gumdramon, and we do get another Taiki, so this is going to be evolve into Arrester here. Load up the Arrester underneath to reduce the cost, which means we get 1 cost Evo into Arrester, and we get to play a Taiki off of that. So we're in a good position Hunters-wise. I'm assuming we do have the Megidramon. I think I can see it. 3rd card on the left. It's not great, but it is 2 checks. It is 2 checks, and you do get to kind of play the game a little bit. Yeah, so we are going to push out, and then we're going to turn into Megidramon, paying the full cost. This will be a full cost Evo attack step. So I think we're just confirming whether we have raid or not. I don't think we do. Yeah, it's going to be 2 checks at security. Ooh, memory setter. Not that it does anything. Really, it's just another color and thingy to deal with. But this is going to be... Again, we're technically doing a lot of these things wrong on the Hunter's side. Oh, and then end of attack. We're going to burn 1, gain 1. Okay, so the memory setter does actually matter. We're technically doing some of these things in the wrong order as the Hunter's player, but the intent is there, so it really depends on how harsh you want to be as a judge. Because it's place 1 with save, then save. So if you're placing him first, that's incorrect. Unless you're targeting him as the thing with save. So yeah, like, it's just gotta be careful. Use the Tagaru to save from hand to draw on game one. The Uemano is going to be the last to go, as we're going to load a Crossheart with the Taiki to draw on game one. And then do you want to load a Rookie in order to gain one? How much memory do you need this turn? Looks like we don't need any extra. So we're going to go for the Digivolution. This time we're actually going to take the two sources out. Each of these tamers can use from other tamers should they so choose. This will be a 0 cost Evo into the Shoutmon King version, and we do get the Taiki out from here. And interestingly enough, we did draw the Watchmaker, and he chooses to go for the Taiki over the Watchmaker. I think, well, I mean, to be fair, yeah, you can just play the Watchmaker. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to lose out on the tech option of the Darkdramon. Yeah, so we're just reading the Watchmaker. He's an actual on-play searcher. And then the Tagaru, as we've just seen, is the memory setter, and then also start a main draw on game one. He does a lot. Now, we still have 2 things of reduction, so each of these arresters can do a lot of damage. Going to suspend the Watchmaker to give it to the King version. And then, of course, because it has the King version underneath, it does have save. Actually, choosing to just swing it raw is kind of crazy. We don't have jamming there. I think he was expecting some of these pieces to end up back under his tamers, which has kind of thrown him off. That said, Magidramon's not really in a position to punish, so you can probably commit the clock to this one. You could, of course, Digicross if you wanted to just pass him 2 and pass him quite a low amount of memory. But this works too. Speaking of passing a low amount of memory, Digicross the Psychmon and then add back the Omni Shout from underneath the Tamer. Does mean we're not going to be putting him on a boatload of damage, but this is staring at Arrestor S for game next turn. Obviously, you're going to get to make very, very few actions here. So you're going to probably be looking at Rookie in the back, boost, and then you're just going to have to pray. Like, it's kind of out of your hands in this situation. So I think the best line of action is, I mean, yeah, Rookie, and then you kind of just have to end on boost. If he ends on boost, it means even if he gets choked to 1 next turn, he has potentially 3 memory to play with. He has a Grav Crush. So that's something that he can't possibly know. So does get to pick up the Secret Gallant if he wants to here. Oh, Promo Gallant even. So yeah, we're going to Promo Gallant off the red boost. That's not something you could do with purple. And it was always out of your hands from this situation. If he draws Arrestor Superior, you lose the game. That just is what it is. All right, so we're going to load a Watchmaker to draw 1 game 1. We've got potentially 3 draws. Here's Crossheart tagged, so that's going to be another draw. You can load another save in tech to... You can load another save in text, but we're going to actually use you to gain a memory. I'm just kind of surprised he didn't load the Taiki. I thought for sure he was... Oh, jamming 2 checks on the Psychomon. That's cute. Hit the Magidramon. Swing, draw. It lives. And do we have the memory to go... Uemano? We have a hybrid. Fair enough. Yeah, that'll do it. So it was kind of out of Lawmed's hands. It was basically, did Solomon get it? Magidramon not really known to, play bombs and does occasionally brick. So unfortunate that game 1 was a non-game. But when you make a deal with Digimon's Devil, it's sometimes does just come back to bite you. Really, really unfortunate there for that game 1. But still, games 2 and 3 were really fun to watch. A little bit cleaner than what we saw before. I would love to know Lomed's thoughts on like why we're on red booster for purple. Obviously, we did get to see it pick up stuff like that Gallantmon. But yeah, Hunter's really, really cool toolbox as always. Always a deck that you have to watch out for. Has already claimed some names as we finish round 3. I believe they're 3-0. So just shows that the deck definitely has legs and tools. Yeah, we're going to be going to a break after this one. So this is a good opportunity for people to go get some water, go get a little bit of lunch. It's just 25 to 30 minutes. So we're back here. Right now, you can see on our screen, we're looking at 1:34 p.m. So we'll be back by 2 from the looks of things. So I'm going to grab a little thing of lunch. Then we'll probably, I don't know, play like 1 or 2 games of Unite. And then we'll be getting into round 3. I'll get some sort of music playing. What are we thinking? Where the name of the Oh yeah, well, let's get some Digimon Survive music going. How loud will it be? Right? See you in a bit.
Giuseppe